Good evening, YouTubers, and welcome to another movie review today. Sorry, watchers. I keep saying I keep saying the wrong thing. There, it should be watchers. And the film today is I love this sport. My favorite sport probably ever. Before wrestling, and people think wrestling is not a sport, but it is in a way. The film is United. This film is great. Honestly, God, right, it's a really good film. This film stars David Tennant, who plays um, the coach of Man United, Jimmy Murphy, and then you got like players like Bobby Charlton, um, played by Jack O'Connell, and Doug Reese Scott plays Matt Busby. Now Matt, oh, okay, he's a manager. He's great. The guy, he's in Mission Impossible 3 and Mission Impossible 2, right? And it's fantastic. His performance as Matt Busby is fantastic. It's just a sad film. It's heartbreaking. But I like the fact that they pay tribute to the team and the players in the film, because that after the crash they have to rebuild the team from scratch, like new players, young players, and stuff like that. I remember years back when Man United won the won the European Cup and stuff like that. UEFA Cup? I don't know. As well. I remember Henson. What's that guy's name? That bloody do you play football? Hanson, is it? Hanson, is it? That Scottish bloke who sometimes. I remember one time he said once he said that this young team ain't gonna win anything, but then they did win something. So it's kind of like this film actually. In the film, right? One guy says this young team ain't gonna win anything, and so it's like that. It's kind of like it's what happens before. It's weird. It's great. It's good stuff. I'm not really good at explaining stuff. I'm terrible. So I do my best here. Pardon me if I'm not. Because they said that they ain't gonna win anything because they're so young. But of course but the film is really good. I'm not a Man United sport, to be honest, but when you watch this, right, you see what real players were like, because they weren't like pampered. These players weren't pampered. They're proper real men. It's a real man sport in the 50s. This film was set in 1950, 58, but the film kind of sets place just before, 2 years before, because at the beginning of the film, like you see the crash. No, you see the snow and everything. And then you see the players in two of the players in the seat. Was it Bobby Charlton? Is it Bobby Charlton in the seat, right? And then the film like sets place 2 years before, like kind of goes back 2 years, and then leads up to the crash again. So I love that scene. It's just a really well made film. Fantastic acting. I love the fact that you can see the Old Trafford Stadium, but it's called Man United, the Old Trafford. And it's like, wow, it looks different in those days. Jeez, it's like really well done actually, because you actually see the inside of the stadium, and it's all you can see how difference in those days compared to now. Small as heck, but I felt it in those days than now, because now it's all kind of like, I don't know, football's not as good. I don't know. I don't think football's as good as it used to be. When you watch this, you think, oh, football in those days was football. Football was football in those days. Now it's just like money making BS, So I don't know. I find it all freaking boring now, football. But these days, football was fantastic because they played football on the streets, stuff like that. At the point where David Tennant's character, who plays the coach, Jimmy Murphy, is telling him to kick the ball against the wall. And then Finger said, what was it, Bobby Charlton? Bobby? He's telling Bobby to kick the ball against the wall, right? Because, and he says, don't let anyone see you, because, and he says, why? He says, because they don't want to see how good you are. So, like, it's fantastic. He's great. David Tennant's fantastic in this. Really fantastic performance. Actually, probably one of the best performances I've ever seen him in. He's really good in this. Really good. Quite heartbreaking too when you watch the crash and everything. But at the same time, it's like a bit of hope at the scene. I like the last bit where there's a bit of hope in that movie. It's like, things get better for him. So, like I said, I'm not minding that for performance, but what happened was tragic. It was like the Monich air crash. But yeah, fantastic performance. The crash itself, right? You don't see too much because it's not too violent or anything. You don't see body parts and stuff, which is good because That's bad taste, guys. I wouldn't want to see that. I'm not. Yeah, when you see the crasher, before that, they have to keep. They have trouble taking off in the plane, right? So they have to keep, going out of the plane and sitting down, and then go back on the plane, and then go back. It's like back and forward. It's like, but then there's one part where Matt Busby's looking at the plane, right, and it's snowing. Hey, it's real bad, the snow, right, and you know something's not right. You know something's not right, and he's thinking this is not right. This is he has. You see in his eyes, like he's got something. Something's going through his head about the whole situation. This is a bad idea, getting on the plane because it's a stupid idea. Because when Buddy Holly died, right, it was all snowing and stuff like that. And this is the same kind of situation because, trying to take off in a snowstorm is not a smart move. It's not a smart move. Won't catch me doing that. Loads of accidents can happen in the snow. So it's probably the worst weather to, get a plane out of, take off in. So yeah, it's a really good film. For that, 5 stars. Really good film. It's been on BBC, but I can't remember it. I don't really watch TV much these days. If I watch TV, but I watch Blu-rays and stuff like that now, so I can catch up. But yeah, really good film. It's not even not a football fan. Definitely worth watching because it's not really. You don't see much of the football in it. You do see like them playing. Who's they playing? Charlton. I think it's Charlton Athletic. You do see them play them, but you don't actually see the match. You do see like old classic film footage like from the football matches and stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, so it's really tragic. It's really, the last part is probably my favourite bit. Really uplift, really sad because you see the players and stuff. And I'll get to that in a bit. But what happens is that they get back on the plane the last time, right? And one of the players says, let's go back. It's safer out there, but it's not. That's the funny, strange thing about it. So he sits back down, and then you see it's like, then the plane starts rattling and stuff and vibrating and stuff and going all kind of. I was a bit surprised seeing babies on that plane. I was like, you must be crazy. You got a baby on the freaking plane. What the hell? So anyway, you see the plane kind of crash. We don't actually see it crash. You just see like it kind of blank out the screen and stuff like that. And next bit, you see the mangled parts of the plane, man. And Bobby's like sitting in a chair with this guy, and he's not. I don't think he's alive. The guy on the left, he's sitting in the chair. He's like unconscious. And then the plane's kind of exploding. You see a fire and everything on the plane. So yeah. And some of the players are dead, it's like, it's just sad, it's really sad. Actually, I think all the players died apart from, Jack, I think all of them died apart from Jack Charlton. Bobby Charlton, sorry, Jack Charlton. All the players died apart from Bobby Charlton, so yeah, it's just sad, Yeah, the youngest side to win the Football League. Yeah, the film starts off in like 50. It starts off in 50 and then it goes back to 56, and it goes back 40. It's like, because then it shows you the stories of the characters that died, and it's really, really well done. I was impressed. Fantastic acting. Tragic at the same time. So yeah, really sad. If you've never seen it, check it out. It's fantastic. Really well done. I love football films. I've got like when Saturday comes, I've got quite a lot of football films. I want to watch the Nottingham Forest one. So yeah, that's the win the European Cup. But yeah, it's a sad thing. It's then again, football's always had tragedies, isn't it, with deaths and stuff. This, people down on the pitch, people getting shot dead. I remember that guy in 1994 getting shot dead. The player that played for Colombia, he got shot dead. It was sad though. And then that player, Vivian Foe, died in 2003 of a heart attack. He had heart condition and stuff. So there's been a lot of tragedy in football. Crazy. This one could have been prevented, I think. So yeah, really sad, really well acted. I love the acting in it. Like I said, I think it's fantastic. The guy who plays Bobby Charlton's fantastic. Really good actor he is. Jack O'Connell, fantastic actor. I love his acting. I loved him Mission Impossible 2. Really good in that. And David Tennant's fantastic in it. He really is. So yeah, good. You can tell they had a good team in those days. Man United. Yeah. So yeah, after the crash. There's there's an actor football. There's a footballer called Duncan Edwards who actually dies afterwards. He died. I think he was the last one that died, and he died in the hospital. So it's the only one that left is like Bobby Charlton. Just imagine just imagine him and no, he wasn't the only one. It was thinking too. Matt Busby. But yeah, it must have been awful, like having friends and then all dying like Ryan was horrible. So yeah, fantastic movie, really well. So what they've got to do later on, they have to find like rebuild the team up with new players like that, so young players, and yeah, it's for the FA Cup against Sheffield Wednesday. I think they play Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, of course they lost. Yeah, so I'm just fired. For hearing things there. So yeah, really good film. Yeah, so if you never see it, check it. Like I said. So yeah, the last part is sad. I mean, I'm going to tell you what happens now. This part where they're doing the tunnel. I'm thinking it's got Jimmy Murphy's looking at the line, of all the players that's going to go out and play Sheffield Wednesday. And next minute you see the players that have died in the lineup, and that's really sad, that scene, because he's like, like smile at him and then like say, oh, okay, let's do this, and it's so sad because it's like their spirit lives on in their players. It's kind of like, it's like their spirits live on. It's really quite sad. So yeah. It was, it was pretty sad actually. I was like, oh, it's just sad. I never expected to feel sad about watching this film, but I did. I felt sad after. So yeah. So yeah, it's just a sad freaking what happened to him. It really was, because just think if they hadn't died, they would have been probably a really good side, So yeah. But yeah, they did a fantastic job with this. Yeah. You see the team who have died in the lineup, and you see Bobby Charlton with them too. So it's like, and Jimmy thinking, look at him thinking, he looks sad, but at the same time, let's do this. We're gonna do this, And at the same time, kind of proud at the same time, I suppose we can call it, of the team that he's got out now, the new team, the younger team. So yeah, fantastic. So then that's the last part of the film. Then you see like say stuff like that. And sometimes they say after, just before the credits, about the team and stuff, the storyline, and what happened to some of the characters. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a rating out of 10. I was gonna give this an 8, but then after I watched it, I'm thinking I'll probably give I'll give this a 9 out of 10, because it's really well done, fantastic acting, and it's just a sad film. For your Man United film, not for my United film, not bad at all. So yeah, it's a tragic story, but at the same time, makes them kind of stronger in a way. So yeah, good film, 9 out of 10 for United. Definitely worth watching. Very heartbreaking at the same time, but then it's got some, slight uplifting moments. But yeah, so yeah, good film. 9 out of 10 for United. Never seen it, check it out. Oh yeah. So anyway, watchers, and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. I'm going to go off now for a bit. I've got stuff to do. So have a nice evening, guys, and hope you have a nice day, and take care. And I don't know, just do what you usually do. Put comments at the bottom, and like I said, I'll always reply to your comments. Anyway, take care and have a nice night. Bye.